ba ba. Ba 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 ba. Hi, Elaine Marolakos Edelson with Astrology Mojo. I want to help you get your mojo back. Welcome to November 11th, 11/11. Somewhere in the world, it is 11/11 at 11 a.m. or 11 p.m. At some point. If you're listening to this in a replay, the vibe still counts. You know why? Because the vibe of 11 exists. It has to do with not just compassion, but it has to do with the portal of entry for compassion and collaboration. Malika, hello. So come say hello to me. Let us know your birthday. And what is the one big thing you would like to accomplish or become aware of? You know, sometimes we think we know what that is, and then the universe has other things to say. Isn't that always the way? Oh my goodness. All right, I'm just pulling a rune. Going to get settled here. Please let your friends and family know. I'll be here on Mondays, Thursdays, and Saturdays at 10:30. 9:30 Pacific, 10:30 Arizona and Mountain Time, 11:30 Central Time, 12:30 p.m. Eastern Time, 5:30 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time. Come join me in the fairy portal of Rivendell. Okay, so, you know, if you know me, you know that I say, if you don't know me, you're about to hear it, that the planets in astrology don't make you do anything, that we live in a cooperation with the cosmos. When the planets make a move, you feel it. When you make a move, the planets reflect that by way of aspects and angles in astrology. And we're talking about conscious awareness, really opening up that vibe. What's that transformation? What's that thing that you really want? That's what we're talking about. You know what? My glasses are reflecting the screen. I don't typically wear glasses except at the computer. They are blue tech lenses so that I can save my eyes from all this computer work. So I'll just give the lenses a rest for a moment, and I'm going to play with my cards and get the hair away from the microphone. So hello, how is everyone today? 11/11. And what is that about? Really, in numerology, 11 represents it's not the number 2, but it is the 2. And it is literally walking between the here and the there, the this and the that, the between worlds. And in order to do that, you bridge the gap between yourself and someone else, or yourself and a thought, or yourself and the universe. And that's a wonderful place to be because there's so much power. There's so much frequency. The portal is open, folks. The portal is open. It's like saying there's a sale at Macy's. Everybody's lining up. So with this particular portal, what you can do is focus on that intention that you would like to create. Because it's normally, you know, we channel, right? So we have like a funnel at the top of our head. Sometimes it's very thin. And so we don't access all these things. Hi, Christine. We don't always access the universal mind. And I think it's important to realize that the expression of your total self is sometimes unrealized because there are so many different parts and angles and aspects, right? So there's the universe that can come in and you can download that information. You can just use this mind and open your heart and be compassionate here on this earth and contribute and do your thing. But let's go bigger. Let's go long. It's one of our favorite scenes in The Incredibles. Go long. And I'll throw you a pass. And the pass is the portal is open. And so what happens with this open portal is that it's like vibrations move in certain frequencies. There's, there's waves, right? Yeah. So you want to ride that wave, that frequency of your intention right now, because as things align in the universe, and this gets even so much more complicated than I can even understand sometimes, but frequencies have, if you calculate it, have numbers. And so certain frequencies open up the portal even more. So that's what 1111 does. Now, you can look at every month of the year and add that number to it and say, oh, well, January is 1-1. Okay, what's that all about? That's independence, right? But that's also an 11. February, 2-2. That's the 1-1 plus the 1-1. And you're creating the bridge between you and the group. And then March, 3-3. All right, so 3-6-9. There's the combination of numbers that create these matrices that help you to focus. It's like, it's in the Avengers, it's in, what other movies? It's the, the Tesseract. It's the Tesseract. And Metatron, Transformers. If you have the ability to focus on the numbers that come up, like what's coming up next, big time, is the 12-12. 12-12 is when the victim emerges. So we'll talk about that next month, of course. But in 11-11, you have the opportunity to access even more of your power. I have absolute power. You can. Okay, I'm going to pull a card for everyone. Who's here? Come say hello to me today. We are talking about November 11 and accessing this frequency and utilizing the wave. Particle, wave. Particle, wave. Okay? They both exist. And when you set your mind to something that exists, you have to ask yourself, is this frequency, the spin I'm in, does it represent my truth? Is it who I really am? Because if it doesn't, now's the time to change that. Hey, Star's here. Welcome to Rivendell. Okay, so I'm going to pull a rune for the group. And and while I do, I want you to be aware that in this Mercury in retrograde in Scorpio can feel very magical because we can go to the depths of something that's very arcane, the mystical, the metaphysical, where power, the root and the seat of power are. Now in the body, in yoga, it's the Kundalini, and that the snake that sits, representational, the snake of transformation that sits just in your sacrum, and how you can open that energy now and pull that power up and make it useful instead of just snaking around and wanting the base pleasures, which there's nothing wrong with that. You're hungry, you eat, you're horny, you have sex, you're tired, you sleep, you play. But I think when you open that power, that portal of power, what you access is something that it's a vibration that is so pure. It's a resonance. It's like taking a spoon and hitting a plastic cup and hearing the thunk, and then taking pure crystal glass and hitting that with a spoon and hearing that vibration, that ting, ting, right? There's a big difference in that vibration and that energy. And that's you. All right, so let me refer to my book, Harvest. Oh, let me show you. This is the tile I pulled. Harvest. There is no reverse for harvest, as you can see, because it is the same either side. So let's get the actual name for this. Oh my goodness. How is everyone today? It's called Jera. Jera, harvest. I actually knew a gal named Jera once. Really sweet gal. Okay, Jera, harvest. Fertile season, 1 year. You've prepared the ground with seeds, the full cycle representing 1 year, and we come full circle. Remember I talked, last show, I talked about October of 2018. October 2018. What happened then? What happened then for you? Think back, because that same level of vibe, that same issue can be recurring now. Also 19 years ago because of the South Node in Capricorn. So, and when we look back 19 years, what were you doing? I was giving birth. Now I'm giving birth again to a series of novels, to an Astro Masterclass, right? So my hair's turning green in my green screen. It's my magical portal. I'm disappearing. There's no way to pull on the harvest, according to Jera, but when you know that you're so close to finishing something, maybe training for a job, maybe it's a health issue, maybe it's a part of your world that you say, you know what, I just need to feel better about myself. I need to expand my spiritual awareness. Why? We're all here to serve. But service at the sake of the self becomes denial, and then in denial begets illness. Oh, did I just use like a biblical term? Begets? I did. And it fosters a lack of self-awareness and self-esteem. So you want to become a higher frequency. And how to do that? Look back. Always look back in every retrograde. And I would say Jera probably represents a retrograde because it's coming, the harvest is coming. So what is it that you really want? That's the thing. What is it that you really want? So if you're here and you're listening, just let me know. If you're in a replay and you tell me what you want, I may not see that. I may not be privy to that. So please pardon me and apologize in advance if I'm not responding to your posts. Thank you. Okay, so I am calling all angels today, all energies. And we're going to pull this card, this magical card for you out there, just for being here and for being present. Hey, Casey's here. And so this particular energetic frequency that can be lifted to uplift you is done by conscious intention, right? So yeah, you want to be able to grab hold of that thing that you know is healthy, is the thing that you came here for, or one of the things that you're focused on. And, everything we do has, okay, I was preempted by the universe. Everything we do has a rhythm. And this is the card that just popped out. Everything that we do has a rhythm to it. And here's a really fascinating thing that happened. I went to a writer's workshop, and in the workshop, there's about 7 or 8 gals, and we had the opportunity to read something we had written to the group for feedback. And we were asked to give, what is our ask? What do we need? So I wanted to know about my rhythm and about coherency. Did anything feel out of place? How was the dialogue? Things like that. So a gal, her name is Michelle, she was also an artist, and she was kind of laying down on a couch in this big, great room. And I was reading 5 pages of my second novel called 10 Steps of the Bull, which takes place in Korea and Japan in the 7th century. And it's dedicated to Taurus the bull, and it's about the first female empress, the first empress of Japan. And so as I read these 5 pages, I just read them, and then we went around the room and I asked for that feedback. And this one gal, this big pad, and she had been sketching or doodling the whole time of the whole week that we were there. And she turned it around. I wish I had it. She turned it around, and she had these, drawings and just movement. And she said, the way you write has a rhythm to it, and it feels like music. And I thought, oh my gosh, wow, thank you for saying that. And I said to her, when I write with music. I write with music on, specific to an era. So it's not just, Genesis or or Shakira. It's, music of the era. And so there was that rhythm in there. So I got my answer. I got the rhythm. So the rhythm is great. Now, rhythm is a dancer. Okay. Rhythm is a dancer. Rhythm. What's your rhythm? Looks like a rose, doesn't it? Isn't that pretty? It looks like a rose. I'm so excited because I ordered some more cards to play with. And one of them is the Brian Froud series. Now, when I was about 40 years ago, I was so into Brian Froud and Frank Frazetta. 40 to 45 years ago, as I was a budding artist and a teenager and moving into my 20s. And I just had the greatest emotional experience with Brian Froud. If you're not familiar with Brian Froud, you can Google him. He and his wife, they have amazing drawings of fairies in the fairy forest and what each of the characters represent. And he has a tarot deck. I bought it for our kid a few years back, and then I thought, you know what? I want one for me. So I'm just waiting for it, and then I'm going to use it here so we can go even deeper. So rhythm, let's get back to rhythm. What's your rhythm like? And let's remove the glare. Okay, what's your rhythm like? If you don't like the experience that you're having in life, you have to look at the frequency that you're outputting. Is it a particle? Is it a particle? Is it a definite, it's this, and this is what it is, and this is who I am, or is it a wave? Or is it a wave? And sometimes the particles and waves, I don't want to say collide because I'm not that scientific, and that would be a Neil deGrasse Tyson topic. Let's get him in here, Dean. Let's get Neil in here. But when you are very definite about your direction in life and who you want to be and who you think you are, but then if you were to stand back, and that's why we're in a retrograde in Scorpio, to really go to the depths of your truth, and you look back and you say, yeah, if I were really honest with myself, yeah. So, and being honest with yourself doesn't mean you have to change everything all at once or change anything. It just means you need to be aware of the moment that you're in and what you're creating. What's the frequency? So if some part of you is saying, yeah, I want that thing, but the rest of you is saying, yeah, it's never going to happen. Yeah, never going to happen. Then, then your rhythm is staccato. It sputters and it goes in fits and starts. Does that make sense? And you want to be riding the wave toward a particle of expansion. Okay, and that's what this 1111 is all about. So when you open, and if you can see the frequency, it's it's magical. It's just magical. It's got this the sparkle to it. This infused with every color plus higher colors that we don't always see. It's like a dog whistle, right? You blow a dog whistle and you're standing there going, and there's no sound, but all the dogs come running because they can hear a frequency that you cannot. So in 1111, this is the time to really get clear about that frequency that you are, that you're outputting, that you're ruminating, that you're pondering, that you go, yeah, it's this. It's this. I had a conversation with someone in my industry the other day, and she said, oh, this thing is bothering me over here. And this person is bothering me. And I said, really? Okay. And they do this, and they do that, and this is the problem, and blah, blah, blah. And I brought it back to her, and I said, okay, so, but you're the one who's frustrated. You're the one with the problem, right? Not her. She doesn't have the problem. You have the problem. And the problem is that you're making it a problem. So what's the frequency? And so I did that thing that I talked about the other day, and I said, what is it? When did that feeling, all right, give me 3 things that you're feeling right now about this person. Okay, great. Now go back in time. When's the last time you had this feeling? And she went, never. I was like, okay. And so we did some talking, and I talked around it, went through it, and I found a door, portal, and I opened that door, and she allowed me entrance. And we went back to, when she was like a toddler, and, yeah. And I said, so now who does this person remind you of? She went, oh my God, that's my mother. I was like, exactly. So it doesn't have to be the mother or the father. It could have been a friend, an aunt, an uncle, a grandparent, a situation. But you've had the frequency before. That's why it's showing up now. Because retrogrades come back to say, are you done with me yet? Are you done? If we're done, we're good. Finito bonito. Scattatore. I don't know Italian. Anybody know Italian? I don't know Italian. But, it's like when you have a recurring issue, you want to ask yourself, when's the last time I felt this feeling? And then before that person, and then before that, and then, and then here, I'm going to meet up with Legolas later. We're going to have a jolly old time. So think about it, because the portal is open, and once you can open that space, you can release those things that don't serve you, that make you physically ill, that make you confused, that perpetuate all the downer crap in your life. Deborah says, in the Adirondacks, it is clear and cold. The static in the air is gone and energy is clear and crisp. Thank you. I can feel that. Use that crisp and cold frenzy of calm. Ooh. Chaos comes calling just when you least expect it, right? Right at the calm. I think some people call it the calm before the storm. You get that sense that something is moving. Static electricity, if that is not an oxymoron, that is a particle and a wave put together. You build up the electricity. It's not ever static. Energy is always moving, but I love that description. Thank you for that. It's always moving. So you're always doing your thing, you're doing your thing, you're doing your thing, you're doing your thing. And then what? Boom, you make contact and you get a shock and you go, ow, quit it. What just happened? Why would they treat me like that? How come I got fired? How come I got passed up for the raise? How come I'm getting sick? How come this thing happened? Yeah. So your attention is called to the moment. And in that moment, it's filled with like a million other moments that you've ignored. But there are remedies. I'm going to pull another card, and this for the group. I am asking all the light beings, the starseed, the angels, architects of this universe, to come in and help us clear today, especially of all days, to help us raise our frequency and to clear those sabotaging thoughts and feelings embedded in our being from experiences long gone, across beliefs, time, space, dimension, planes of existence, karmic experience. All right, let's see what we can come up with. Thank you, universe, in advance. Purpose. This one flipped out and it stayed in my hand. You know what? Let me just put these back on. They're creating such a glare. I don't know what the problem is with my computer. Anyway, purpose. Purpose. It kind of matches my outfit. I like that. I have purpose. So what is the purpose? A lot of people ask me, what's my purpose? And it's like, well, to be or not to be? That is the question. Whether it is nobler in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows. No, we're not going to go there. Okay, so yeah, what is your purpose? Here's the next card. I was going to say the nether card. Here's the nether card. Free will, baby. Free will in the fairy portal. We got free will. Okay, here's the difference between fate and free will. Fate is you're a puppet. And or no, okay, let me make amends to that. I'll amend that statement. The belief of fate is that things are predestined and that you are headed in a direction. Now, to a degree, you have a destination because that's destiny. That is your soul's destination. It's just your spirit's destination. That it's not written in stone, however. You can change it. You can be a maverick. I had a palm reader once looked at my hand. Mrs. Mahur in Tucson, if you're still there, thank you. You're amazing. And that was over 22 years ago. Anyway, she looked at my hand and she said, well, you're a maverick, aren't you? I said, I am. And which means I came in with one destiny because my palms do not match in the least. I came in with one destiny, and then when I got here, I thought, yeah, you know what? I'm going to change my mind. Okay with everybody? I'm changing my mind. Yeah, we're going to go in a different direction. And I keep doing that. So it's no surprise. So that's the thing about purpose. You can create your purpose as long as, caveat, addendum, the clause, and I'm not talking Santa or Mrs. The addendum to your purpose is that you are as present as possible in as many moments as possible, coming from a place of compassion as you create, as you are in service to the world. But remember, you might think, oh, what do? I don't do anything. I don't write books. I don't speak on stage. I don't create cures for diseases. I don't do anything. Okay, well, then let's start there. The portal is open. What would you like to do? Who else could you be? Let's just say you were. Act as if. Who else could you be? Your purpose is present as possible. Present as possible. Okay, right? We here? We get it? I'm going to pull one more card for the group, and then off I go. I'm working on my Astro Masterclass, and I'm recording a lot. And it's really fun. I'm really into the rhythm. Rhythm. There it is. Got my rhythm back. Yay. Okay, thanks, universe, for that. Purpose and rhythm. And whoa, literally flipped over. Creation. I like the colors in this card. Creation. What would you like to create today? You have so many moments. Moments, not minutes. Moments. Creation. 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 What do you want to create? Just think of your next moment. You could create an apple pie. You could create chaos. You could create harmony. You could create alliances. Survivor. But if you happen to create a situation where you get voted off the island, it's okay. You can create a boat that takes you on a cruise to a vacation spot. Okay? You see, that's the shift in the brain and the thinking. You can create it. Create the bridge. Create it. What was it? Dean, help me out. Was this the bridge? The bridge. Who does that? No, not the bridge on the River Kwai. The song, Led Zeppelin. Looking for the bridge. The bridge. Okay, does that make sense? Quiet crowd today, 11:11. Okay, here's what I just want to leave you with this particular day. We have the ability to create in consistent moments an entire life that reflects wealth, health, passion, purpose. And the joy that comes from that is immeasurable. Your pure conscious love. What do you want to do with that? That is the question. You're an extension of the light. You exist here, now, everywhere. What do you want to do with that? Take it away, people. All right, I'll be back. Mondays, Thursdays, and Saturdays, 10:30, Arizona and Mountain Time. That's 9:30 Pacific. You can always catch me in a hashtag replay. And I'll see you again. Be well. More to come. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being. Stay sparkly. See you soon.